One thing queer, one thing queer, one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer.
Hello and welcome to One Thing Queer. My name's Jenny Baton and my pronouns are they, them.
And I'm Kelsey Wren, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, friend.
Hello.
We just chatted for like 3 hours.
We did. How are we talking more?
I know, we're talking some more. I was like, do you still want to record?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we should.
We do have episodes, but it's like so much fun to talk. So
It is.
Yee.
Yes. We talked a lot today,
We did.
but it's like explicit. No, I'm just kidding. It's just not podcast talk. It's friend talk, okay, y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had a lot to catch up on. So
Yeah, we did.
yeah, this long weekend was like
I know,
a lot
eventful.
happened. I know, right?
It was very eventful. I feel like a lot has happened.
Yeah, I feel like it was a week long, but it was only, I guess 4 days is pretty close. I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, well, I had 4 days off, so
Yes.
yes, I did. I was so lucky.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Very nice.
So how was your weekend?
It was good. I went to Preciosa Night in Pershing Square.
Fun.
It was very cool, July 1st, and we had a great time. I went with my partner. We took the train there.
You in the train.
Yes. Yeah. We took the train there because it like leaves you right there.
That's great.
So yeah, we got there in the afternoon and it was like there was people, but it wasn't that crowded when we got there. And it was really cool. They were giving away free liquid death. And have you ever had it? It's like it's a water brand, but it's like sparkling water and they have like regular water, but their sparkling water is really, really good. It's like fancy sparkling water. And yeah, they were just giving it away for free. Like it was so nice. And then, yeah, I had like 2 of them. And there was like a bar, like they had like a lot of like vendors that were selling drinks, and their drinks were really good. I got pretty litty.
Well, you took the train, so
Yeah.
you're responsible.
Yes, I got pretty litty. My partner had like one drink, and I had a few, and I had a shot.
Wow.
It was a whole thing, friend. Okay, so.
Oh no.
I'm like, what do I share? I'm like, because I don't know if anybody's gonna listen to this. Whatever, fuck it.
We have a lot of lists. I'm just kidding.
No, like the people I'm about to mention.
Oh, you do you.
Yeah, whatever. So we got there, and like the whole time I was like, babe, we need to make friends because like we don't have any queer friends in LA, and like this is the perfect place to find them. Like it's all POC because that's, for those who don't know, Preciosa Night was created by these 2 Latinx wives, and the whole movement is basically creating a queer space for BIPOC people, particularly people in the Latin community, because I don't know about you, I like we've been to queer events, like you and it's just very saturated with white people.
I'll say
like,
it's very white.
it's very white, and
I'll take it, friend.
I know. Please take it from
I got you.
from me.
It's very white.
It's very white, and it's really hard. Like even when you're surrounded by queer people, when it's really white, it's really hard to identify. At least for me, I don't know about anybody else. I know my partner also feels the same way, because she's Mexican too, and it's just like there doesn't seem to be as much representation. So it was really nice to be in a space where like everything was just genuine. People were like having fun. It wasn't about like status. It wasn't about what do you do, or like, you know, I feel like in LA there could be sometimes there's like spaces, particularly in queer spaces that I've been in, where it's like all about status and like what you do and like who dresses cooler, and like it's very superficial and it's not genuine and it's not like a deep connection. And when we were there, it just felt like it was community. It felt like a family party. It felt like people were just enjoying each other's company, and like the culture is just different. And so we really appreciated that. So yeah, the whole time we were like, well, I was like, we need to make friends, and then my partner's like, well, I'm shy, and I'm like, I'm shy too.
Please.
I'm a little shy, friend. You haven't seen that side of me, okay?
That's because
But I do have a side like that.
when we're together, I'm the shy one also. So I'm like,
Yes.
you go tell him.
Yes. Yeah. I'm usually pretty shy. If I'm like in new spaces, I'll be shy for a little bit. It's my Capricorn rising. Come on. You should know this.
Okay.
My sun doesn't come out until I'm comfortable. I'm a Cap like from the get-go. Because when people first meet me, sorry, very ADHD right now. When people first meet me, they don't, like, I always tell them I'm an Aries. They're like, really? Because I'm very reserved. When I first meet people, I'm very reserved. And I think you never saw that version of me because I knew you before, you know?
And I'm only laughing because I'm like, you could never be anything other than Aries to me.
You haven't seen that side of me.
No,
that's why.
not. I feel like you would do that mostly at work too, because
Yeah.
all the new people you would meet would be at work, so you'd want to be professional.
Yes.
So
My Cap comes out.
there you go.
But nonetheless, one of the 10th times that, or a million times that we went to go pee, like we took turns because we had drinks with us. So she went in first and then I went in second. And when I went in to pee, one of the organizing volunteers came towards her and like was like, oh, like, who are you here with? And like was chatting and basically like they're an activist and like they wanted to just like bring people together and like meet each other. And I guess she was waiting for somebody else that was in the bathroom to like come out, and then she's like, oh, like, and then I came out and then she's like, let's all hang out, like, oh, I made a whole little new group right now, so like let's all go hang out. And so we went to go hang out with them and it was cool. It was the first person we met was this woman that like I guess marries gay couples and also divorces them. That's what
Full
she was
circle.
telling me. Yeah, that's literally what I told her. I'm like, oh wow, you do the full circle. And so we met her. It was cool. And then she had another friend who was about her age. They're about like probably my mom's age, maybe in like their early 50s. And then and so like that's kind of where the juice comes in. So they're friends, I guess, that like started, sorry, I need water because we've been talking all day, not all day, 3 hours. They're friends, I guess, and so like when one of them walked away, the other one was like spilling juice about the other. And there was like, so it was the lady we first met, and then the second lady that we met, she was more mask, and she was like basically like spilling the juice about her friend while her friend was getting drinks. And like I was just like listening to her talk. We were talking about spirituality, and I was just like bobbing my head and being like very understanding and just like letting her talk. And then I think she confused that with like me like flirting with her or something. And then she was like basically telling me like I could get anybody like physically, but like nobody knows like mentally, like I need to be mentally stimulated and this and that. I'm like, oh, I totally know what you mean. Like me and my partner are very much like, I kept bringing up my partner. My partner was right next to me and I kept like squeezing her hand to like interrupt the conversation. And she didn't get the hint. But basically I was like, oh, okay. And then finally I really had to pee. So then I tell my partner, I was like, I need to go pee. And then the lady overhears me and she's like, oh, I have to go pee too. And then my partner's like, oh, I have to go pee too. So then we go, and as we're going, there's like steps, like we have to like climb over. And so the lady goes in front of me and she like opens her hand to like help me take my step. And she did that like several times on the way to the bathroom and several times on the way back.
Oh boy.
And I was like, this is weird. And like my partner like noticed it, but like she's not toxic. She was just like, I noticed it, but I was like, whatever. And she's like, at one point, like she took your hand and then she saw that I was coming and she had her hand out and then she like saw that it was me and then she like took it away.
Oh my god.
So that was interesting.
Oh, wow.
But the other, like the volunteer person was really cool. And like the other people we met were really cool. I mean, they were all cool, but I think that particular person got the wrong idea about me or something just because I was like listening. Anyways, that was the juice. But nonetheless, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
That's good.
What else? Oh, also, we went to the library because my partner's helping me make a logo for Celestial Light Witch, like an original logo, because the one I currently have is from Canva. And I want like my own.
I work with Canva all the time.
I know,
pretty
friend. It is really good, but I've seen 3 people with my logo.
Oh no, never mind.
At markets.
You right.
So I was like, I asked her if she could make one.
Well,
and
don't hate on Canva. I like Canva.
I love Canva. I actually use Canva for a lot of things. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying, like, I want to be different.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
Especially with, like, my logo.
I was especially artist.
Yeah.
Artist. Oh, hello.
Yeah. So we went to the library because they have all the software there for free.
Cool.
And they let us, like the library in LA, like the Central Library, anybody who doesn't know and anybody who lives in LA has so many fucking resources. You could check out like camping gear. You could go inside the Octavia lab where you can do like, what is it? 3D printing. You can use their sewing machine. You could use, like, they have so many resources. That's why we love going to the library, especially the Octavia lab. And they have a few offices where you could record your own podcast, you could record your own videos. And they had our this pad, the one that we're recording on
We
right
always
now.
forget the name of it.
I know. The interface.
The interface, yeah.
Yeah, the pod track.
Oh, wow.
They had the exact one, friend.
Wow.
And I was like, wow.
They didn't have my cool post-it though, huh?
No, they didn't. They did not, man.
My post-it, if never, anybody remembers, I wrote on all the buttons what the sound was, the sound effect. So I wrote so we would know, so it's easy. We wouldn't have to remember it.
Yeah. But isn't that cool?
That's really cool.
I was like, wait. Oh, like, that's so cool. And they had like the mics like us.
Oh, cool.
And and you could like record, edit if you want to film in there. They have a green room.
Wow.
Like, it's fucking sick.
Cool.
Yeah. So that was my weekend. That was Friday, and then we went to Preciosa Night on Sunday, and then I went to the beach on Friday, library, Saturday, Preciosa Night, Sunday, beach. Sorry, y'all. I'm crashing.
That, and it's like, it feels so long ago now.
Yeah.
It feels like a long time ago.
But that was my weekend, friend.
Fun.
Yeah. How about you?
Sorry, I was like, because we talked, losing my voice. Oh, okay. Saturday, we went to Bernie's sister's husband's.
Sorry.
Are you good? Bernie's sister's husband's 40th surprise birthday party.
Fun.
It was really fun and it was really sweet, and he was so surprised, and like,
I love surprise parties.
I liked mine, but it was I was like, oh.
You loved it.
I did love it.
Period.
I did. I did. Okay, I did. I did, but it was like, he was surprised. It was great. It was like so sweet, and like his son, like I think I mentioned, they're like, her kids are like the only kids that ever, like, I'm like, oh, I want kids. Like, guarantee me those kids, and I'm like, okay, maybe I want them, like, because they're really cool kids. And like his nephew is a Gemini moon too. So I said, I don't know if I said this. Okay, and I'm like, we dad joke together, and it's great. Like, just dad jokes back and forth. It's the best time. Because everybody always just like laughs at me but doesn't laugh at my jokes. So anyways.
I'll laugh at your jokes, friend.
Okay, fine. But that was really fun. It was really sweet, and his son made him like a video, and it was so freaking cute. I was like,
and you said that it was like in like a bar.
oh yeah, it was okay. I don't want to say exactly, but it was like a downtown area, and like, so the front is like a thrift store kind of thing, from what I could gather when we drove by, and in the back they have like this hall. So it was like this hall. I think he just acquired that space, so it was like this was the first thing that was held back there, and it was nice. It was like a medium good space. It was really nice. Yeah, it was kind of secluded through the like back alley kind of, but it wasn't sketchy, and the parking lot was right there. It was nice. It was really good. So that was fun. What do we do Sunday? Oh, okay. So Sunday morning. So we bought a barbecue. This is the highlight of my year. We bought a Blackstone barbecue. I've been wanting one of those flippin' things for years. We bought one finally. So Sunday we spent like an hour and a half putting it together.
Oh my
and we're
God.
like,
well,
I know.
that's not that long actually.
It wasn't that long, but we hadn't eaten breakfast yet because we're like, we're going to make it and we're going to make breakfast.
Oh my God.
So we did that. Running off coffee only. We did that. And then we went to the store and we're like, well, we're going to the store. We might as well because we wanted a barbecue for like the rest of the weekend, because obviously we had the barbecue. So we wanted to do our grocery shopping. And I also didn't want to go when it's like the 4th of July rush.
Yeah.
So we went, got the breakfast stuff, and we got whatever else groceries for us. So we did like a whole grocery shopping, like unexpected, that we weren't like usually. I mean, me, Cappy, I plan for this and I have a list and like everything.
Yeah.
So by the time we get home and have everything for breakfast, it's noon. But we're like, no, we're still cooking freaking breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
I want breakfast.
Anytime.
Oh yeah, anytime. Breakfast for dinner, the best. So we did, and it was fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
It was so. It was like,
Freshly grilled sausage or bacon.
both. It was both, and like crispy hash browns. It was heavenly. So yeah, we did that, and then we made also fried rice and beef and broccoli that night too. My
on the
on the Blackstone, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My Instagram is only barbecuing now, so enjoy, everyone. That's all I'm posting from now on.
So you're not only your dad jokes, but now you're like one of those dads with the grill.
I'm just like I turned into my father. I was gonna say like a white American man, but my dad's brown, so I turned into my dad. Jeez, I didn't even put that together. Oh. Well, all right then.
We all do at some point. I feel like the older we get, we end up.
Oh yeah, because
like our parents.
I was complaining about fireworks, and I was like, it's loud and it's dirty outside.
These kids aren't picking up after their.
Exactly. I had that moment, but we did that, and then we went to like the little like creek area that we go to that we really like to go to.
Yeah.
And then 4th of July we barbecued again just because we wanted to barbecue.
Nice.
But we ate, like, if it's one thing me and him know how to do is we know how to eat. Like it's not just like burgers.
Agreed.
We are
The whole shebang.
we get down. We made like jalapeno poppers,
Oh my god.
corn. There was potato salad. We had watermelon. Like and we had burgers. Like it was like a whole thing.
That sounds like heaven.
Yeah, it was really nice. So we ate. We ate for our days.
I love that.
That's pretty much I'm like, is that all we did? I can't remember now, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
Very nice. I feel like we had an eventful weekend, both of
know.
us.
I know. That was a really long shooting this
I
shit.
know. Was it 16 minutes?
I feel bad, y'all. I hope you stayed with us.
I think so. I think people like it.
Okay.
I mean, we've done full episodes of shooting the shit, friend.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. I guess that concludes. Shooting the shit. What are we talking about today, friend?
Cool. I am also crashing. We're going to talk about, so it was kind of something I mentioned. I can't remember which episode because we have a couple in the can right now.
Yeah.
So we were talking about kind of what gets you kind of motivated. Do not self-help, do motivation videos work on you? Kind of like those, because I wanted to talk about it because I'm the type of person that those do not work on.
Yeah.
So like the memes where it's like the kitty hanging from the string and it's like, hang in there. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't work. I don't know if it works for anybody, but like any of those are like the motivation of like people like pick yourself up and that stuff. I call bullshit.
You're like, it's not realistic.
Yes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, bullshit. And a lot of the times I'm like, you don't know me. You don't know anything about me. How do you know that's going to work?
Yeah.
Like, So for me, I had some stuff does resonate. Like that one Rick Rubin's
Yeah,
video.
that video we did.
It has to hit at the right time, I guess. And like, I also have to trust who the information's coming from. So like I've always kind of too, like, it's kind of like having that PE teacher who like wants you to run laps, but like he can't walk a mile. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's not logical to me. I'm like, you should be able to do this too if you're asking me to do it.
Yes.
It's very much also like with managers, like we've had the same manager before, and I know you know who I'm talking about. Like
Yep.
this person would never ask you to do anything that they would not have done already, or they would not help you with. Like,
Yeah.
if they're going to ask you to do this, and you need help, they're going to be right at your side. They're not just going to bark orders at you. And that's the kind of person and advice who I take, like who I respect and who I trust and take advice from.
I
So
agree.
if that person were to be like, hey, I think you should do this, I would really actually listen to that advice, because I'm like, oh, you look like you have your shit together. Like, and I trust you because you're not just going to bark orders at me. So that's the same thing with like, I don't know, like help videos. I keep kind of wanting to call self-help, but it's not. Just
I mean,
like
it's also even not just videos, but like self-help books, like
Yeah.
for other people, or like TikToks, just any type of self-help information suction,
Yeah.
lack of a better word. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean?
I do. Because even like I've tried reading like Joe Dispenza books, like the
yeah.
I've tried, and there's sometimes where I'm like, bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I know you, but I've had an interaction with like spiritual people, and like we had an interaction with somebody recently, and just like, to me, I'm like, you got to walk the walk. Like, you don't just, I'm like, because I'm going to see right through your bullshit. And this person really felt like they walked the walk. So when they were telling us stuff, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And like, I trust what you're saying to me, because it felt, you know, and I feel like my intuition's really good too. So I was like, oh yeah, I will do whatever you tell me to do because it feels real. And I trust you, like, as much as I can trust you right now.
Yeah.
But if it was like some random, you know, I'd be like, oh, I don't know about you, but I feel the same way with like kind of motivational stuff,
Yeah.
you know?
For me, yeah, I feel like there has to be a sense of passion that I see in someone. And like, also like you, I need you to walk the walk if you're going to talk the talk. And also what really helps me like trust in someone is when they're vulnerable and open up about stuff, and them doing that and them being human. Like, I really like to see people's humanity when they're talking about self-help or like embracing bettering yourself. And I feel like that's also a very important topic in like the spiritual community, because there's a lot of, there are some like toxic positivity in the spiritual community where it's like, yes, just believe, but like, or just like being very toxically positive. And I'm all for being positive, but there's light and dark and both. And I feel like I hate that a lot of the time people put the dark into a bad category, because I truly feel like you would not be able to differentiate like the good and the bad, or the light and the dark, if you didn't have the other.
Yeah.
And so I feel like both are necessary, and both can be good and both can be bad. Like I said, toxic positivity could be a bad thing, and toxic negativity could be a bad thing.
Sure.
But I feel like there has to be a balance of everything.
Agreed. Yeah. I like the realistic approach more.
Yeah.
Hence why a lot of that, like, just do it and we're going to get, like, I'm like, no, like, that's not realistic. Like, and I'm also like a how person. Like, so if somebody's like, oh, you're going to have $10,000 by next year. And I was like, how? You didn't tell me how. Like, I need more information.
Just because, like those TikTok videos, if you listen to the sound,
Ding!
in a month you are gonna have $100,000.
Yeah, no, it's not going to work that way. It's just you have to put in the work to get those things, and it doesn't just work that way. Like, and I think too, like, okay, so I had told you about somebody too. Hopefully, this guy doesn't turn out to be a piece of shit. But it's Leo Skeppy on YouTube. He's a queer. He's a gay man, and he's like he's just also very butch also, and like it's just, I just love his energy, and it's the like he's got like a good feminine masculine build, like balance, and I really really love that, because he's vulnerable and like silly, but like also like he's gonna like fuck you up if you say something. So like to me, I'm like, okay, so I caught a few of his videos and I started listening to like his YouTube and stuff, and for me, I'm like, why do I listen to this guy? Like, I don't know this guy, but like the way he's vulnerable with stuff, and I had started listening to him because he gave like fitness tips, and for me too, the worst kind of fitness tips are ones that come from somebody who's never struggled with their weight. This guy has struggled with his weight. He's made a transformation, and like I can see that, and a lot of his tips are not toxic, where it's just like count every single morsel that goes into your mouth. That stuff is also eating disorders to me. I've seen it happen firsthand with my own life. Like it's a gateway to a different type of, what is it called?
Disorder.
That's it. It's a gateway to a different type of disorder. You know, just because you're eating the healthy food and counting it obsessively, it's still a problem. You still don't have a healthy relationship with food. So for him, I was like, okay, he started off that way, and there's just a lot of the stuff that he talks about that's really realistic to me. So I was like, okay, I kind of like trust this guy, and there's just so much stuff where he talks about it like it's just I don't know what it is, but I kind of trust it. It's so realistic, and like I said, I hope he doesn't turn out to be like a piece of shit, but
I think it's the vulnerability.
Maybe.
I feel like that's what it is. I feel like when, like, this is an example of some that kind of plays into the part. Like my mom, my mom was always very vulnerable with me and very open about like her mistakes in life. Therefore, I trusted her because of those things, because she was vulnerable and she's like, look, I'm human. I'm not perfect. These were my flaws. This is where I fucked up. I'm telling you because maybe it'll help you not repeat my same mistakes. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, then it is what it is. And so I feel like when people are vulnerable and real and human, like, it's easy for you to trust them. Therefore, it's easy for you to get inspired by them. Because if they were at a low that you are in and, you know, they found a way out, even if it was like temporarily, and then, you know, it's like everything's a journey, right? Everything like goes up and down, and you're not always going to feel great, you know, and that's, I think, what's important to talk about more, especially when it comes to this topic, is that like, I'm all for like manifesting. I'm all for like having a positive mindset on things and like being able to do that. But like you said, you do have to put the work in, and you also have to be in the mental state to do so. And it's okay if you aren't. And it's okay if you have falls. It's okay if you feel like you're failing forward or failing at some point or another, because you're human and you're meant to feel all of these feelings, all these emotions. But I do feel like it does help. I do feel like when you're in a place of like wanting to be inspired by people, or like finding a community or a person you can look up to kind of like better yourself, I think you just have to find the avenue that best suits you.
Yeah. And I forgot my train of thought earlier, but you reminded me right now why I brought him up is because he was talking about, there's something that resonated a lot too, which again, somebody who feels fake would not work. But when he said it, he was saying that like, stop asking for things, stop manifesting, like go out and work for it. Like it's not going to work unless you go and get it. And I was like, wow, I don't know. It's simple. Obviously, you have to go work for it. But I think a lot of times too in the spiritual community, we talk about manifesting. And I think a lot of times the people who are saying that mean to go work for it, but they don't put that in there. So people are like, oh, I just have to wish for it.
Exactly.
Like, and they don't. So if you're receiving that message and you're like, nothing's working, I wished for it, nothing's working. But they didn't get the other half of that information saying like, no, you have to go work for it also. So that's something he resonated. He's like, stop asking for things, stop wishing for things, go and do them instead. And it's simple stuff like that that's just so logical that I'm like, oh yeah, it's a good reminder. It's not like I hadn't thought of that before, but it's a good reminder that like, don't just like sit around and like, so if you want this or you want that, or you know, you need to put in the actions to make it happen. And like, you know.
I think the misconception a lot of people have with manifestation is just setting the intention. And a lot of people will say on TikTok, like, you know, manifest it and then let it go. I agree to an extent. Like, yes, let go of it happening overnight, because I mean, we live in a society where instant gratification is a thing and you just expect magic to happen, but you do have to put the work into it. I've been trying to manifest 1,000 followers on my TikTok for a very long time, but just because I'm trying to manifest it doesn't mean I'm not going to work towards.
You've been putting in that work.
I've been putting in that work to make that happen. And I know I'm 20 away now at this point.
Almost there.
Home stretch. And like, I've been working hard towards it, and I have been manifesting, and I've been patient, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna get there. And even when, you know, the whole talk about TikTok going away, I was like, I'm still gonna do it, because I mean, nothing stops me once I go and I want to do it. Like, I'm determined, even, you know, if it was for nothing, whatever. But like, I like to set goals for myself, and I like to achieve those goals, and I like to like work hard, and I like to work towards things because it ignites something within me. But that's just my personality. But I do feel like that's a very important thing that you brought up, that manifestation isn't just about like manifesting and then expecting it to just come to you by sitting there. I think it's like letting go of it, like knowing that it's gonna happen while putting in the work to make it happen.
I think that's the second half of it, like you were saying, like setting the intention. And I think a lot of people don't exactly realize the meaning of that intention, which is you're setting the intention that you're going to do these things. Like you're not just going to write it down and it's that. And a lot of times what he was talking about also is like making a list for yourself, because a lot of times like he was talking about it, and somebody else Bernie's been listening to, I don't know his name though, has been talking about this too, is that like a lot of the times like mood boards or like what are they called, like future boards or something, or like a lot of the times people get things done when they have a list is because it's written down. We get like a dopamine hit when we're able to check that thing off. So like it's really important to write down those goals, hence the intention. Even in like witchcraft, you're going to set the intention by writing it down.
Yep.
But you're going to put action into that because you're going to do something with that, whatever you wrote it on.
Exactly.
So I think that's the second half that we miss all the time. So you want to, the second half is going to write. And I think that's part of like the, like pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Like that crap doesn't work. That's bullshit. It's about the putting in the work to do it, I guess. And finding another part of it is finding more respectable leaders, I guess, or people to look up to. And obviously use your intuition to that. And of course, what works for me is not going to work for you. We're going to work, different things are going to work for us. Being more selective with who you follow and like who you pay attention to.
Consolidate.
And, like who you pay attention to and whose words you let into your head, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is really, really important.
Yeah, like filtering people, consolidating. I feel like that helps a lot. I went through like a cleansing spree on my Instagram.
Me too.
I think it was like actually like a year ago. And very much like that definitely helps like your algorithm and like the things that you intake. Like my algorithm on my spiritual Instagram is like a bunch of other spiritual practitioners and like things like that. And I love following like other people in their own paths of how they work, especially other practitioners, because everybody has their own way of doing things. And I love to learn from other people with like how they do things, because everybody does things incredibly differently. And a lot of, sometimes maybe I don't agree with certain things, and sometimes I'm like, oh, that's something new, I'm going to try it. And I think that's what's important. You have to see what resonates with you and like what will inspire you and like what works best for you.
Yeah, I did that too. I think it's important to kind of clean up your algorithm every once in a while, because I noticed in mine I had like everybody knows, like we watch wrestling. We don't watch it as much anymore, but like 6 months ago or like a year ago, I had a lot, because I was like, oh, follow, because like I want to see what's going on kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like that's a lot of my algorithm too. And I'm like, what am I doing? And to me, you have to kind of filter that out every once in a while too, because if you look at it and you're like, oh, that's what I was into 6 months ago or a year ago, if you're still into the same things, like hobby-wise is good, but you should have grown a little bit. Like it's nice to grow and have new interests or new hobbies. You don't really want to be stuck in the same, because if you're being fed the same exact stuff time and time again, you're not going to grow either.
Yeah.
Like, again, how you said, like, you learn from meeting and seeing new people's things or however they do things. That's how people learn, and that's how you grow. Evolve. So, yeah, I think it's good to do that every now and then, too.
And it's okay to, like, follow someone and then unfollow them, like, I'm talking more like celebrities or like, bigger people on social media. It's okay to like unfollow them for a season. And then if you want to follow them again, then you follow them again, if you want. And that's the lovely thing about social media. You really could control what you consume.
I know.
To an extent.
I mean, yeah.
To an extent. But yeah, I think for me, like when I am very interested in a particular topic, I'll divulge into like that particular topic, and I'll try to find like podcasts. Like for me, podcasts really inspire me currently, because I've been like, I have my seasons of like being obsessed with Reiki and seasons where I'm obsessed with readings, and right now I'm like really obsessed with tarot. I was taking classes and I just love learning, and I found this podcast called The Arcane Dames, and they basically do an episode per card, like per tarot card, and they just like talk about it. And like I love learning how different readers analyze the cards and like their interpretations with like different decks. They use different decks every episode. And for me, I'm like very intrigued with like just learning from other people and like seeing their perspective. But for me, that's very inspirational, like hearing things that I'm very interested about through podcasts.
Definitely, yeah. I don't know. I think I do YouTube also. It depends on what I guess it depends on, I don't know. Because when I find a new topic, I'm like in.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking for it everywhere. And I need to learn everything I can learn about it right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look for everything everywhere.
That's your Gemini moon.
I know. I'm like, ooh, I need to know everything about this because I'm very much the did you know person. I just like facts. Anyways. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious. I had mentioned earlier or a few episodes ago that I think the first one back actually that like I want to start bringing forward these like weird thoughts in my head where it's like, this is one of those ones. I'm like, how come like, because Bernie and I have talked about this before too. And like that motivational stuff does help him. Like that, like the kind of like the coach before the game kind of talks does help him. But me, I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, I don't want to hear your bullshit, coach. Like, fuck you.
Don't tell me what to do.
Exactly. And I'm like, you don't know me. Leave me alone. So, like, it doesn't work on me. All I call is bullshit. So, I'm just curious of, like, other people. Do you feel the same way? Like, does that stuff work? Does a hang in there work? Like, to me, it doesn't. That's just me.
I would be very intrigued to hear people's perspectives because I feel like it would completely differentiate like, person to person. And I think everything is valid.
Yeah.
You know? What works for you. And there's not a right or wrong answer to that.
I mean, it's got to be different because some people freaking Jordan Peterson works on and I can't understand how that works.
Lord. Don't get me started.
I mean, I feel you, but some people that bullshit works and I don't understand. But I mean, whatever.
I don't know.
Sorry. I had to make it controversial.
I have like JP PTSD.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But I don't know. Yeah, I think it's definitely a thing I would really love to hear about the listeners' perspectives. Like what works for you guys, what doesn't work for you. Are you more like Kelsey? Are you more like me? Are you your own way? I'm very intrigued because I feel like it could also evolve and change throughout your life too. Would you say that's happened to you?
I still feel like that kind of like coach speech has never worked, but I know that it's been different kinds of people over my life who have kind of been inspirational, kind of like when I was like really into like working out, obviously it was a lot more fitness people. And now not so much. Now in that community, I see a lot more of like the toxicity and like the diet culture and stuff that is like bleh, that I don't want to deal with anymore. So I'm like, I don't really want to listen to anymore. But yeah, I think it has changed over too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other communities that may have, I don't know. And even before like, you know, my awakening and us talking any kind of like spiritual stuff, because I'm like so happy, I would be like, nah. Like,
it's so
now.
It's crazy to think about. It's so crazy because y'all, if you didn't know, when me and Kelsey first started recording, listen to our first or second episode.
Oh yeah.
And you're gonna hear a huge difference because Kelsey thought I was crazy. I was like, when we first started the podcast, I was like, I'm like, well, I'm into like spiritual stuff and like star seeds and this and that, and you're like, okay.
It's not that I don't believe, like, okay, so it's not that I don't believe you. So I have this thing too, weird ass thought coming in. I have this thing too where like, I believe it for you. I believe that you believe that back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's no.
You never invalidated me.
Yeah, no.
You were just like, it's just not my thing.
Yeah, so it's just like, and for a lot of people, like, I'm really, like, you believe that? That's great. That's got nothing to do with me, though. So
exactly.
That's how I was back then more. And, like, until I go through it on my own, kind of, then I'm like, oh, okay, I can claim this now with me. But, like...
And even then, I feel like our spirituality, like, it aligns for the most part, but, like, I'm sure there's differences, like, in our practices.
I think so, too,
or, like, how we think. And that's the beauty of it, I think. Like, spirituality could be so different for everybody.
Yeah.
And people have different practices. People identify differently. There's witches, there's mystics, there's readers, psychics, mediums. Like everybody practices different things.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I would think even with the people we follow in the different spiritual pages and stuff are different as well. Because I
Yeah.
feel like we have a different way. Like not, I feel like we have, it's like the same, how do I put this? It's like the same path, but we're on different sides of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, but we just, there's different things that we both resonate with. I kind of resonate more with like darker stuff.
Yeah.
And
Like, I mean, we're both witches, but like you're more like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You say.
like, I to put it simply, every time there's a black heart in her post, that's me. When
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
white
yeah.
heart, that's Jenny. if that makes it any, and like usually if I put both, I mean you. Like,
yeah, mine's are usually like white
or like the
yellow.
white dove.
Yeah, mine are like white hearts, yellow hearts, or orange hearts.
Mine's always the black one.
And honestly, I and if it's red, it's because I'm too lazy to change the color. Like I'm like, I don't have passion for you that way. I'm too lazy to pick a different color.
I will pick black every time.
I
That
know.
is my heart.
Yeah.
The black heart.
I mean, even how we dress.
I mean, yeah, how we dress too.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. Exactly.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. But I think, but we still, it all comes together. It all,
Yeah, yeah,
again,
yeah.
it's the same road. We're just different sides of the road.
You're my yang to my yin.
Yeah, I don't know which one's which, but I agree.
Yang is you. I'm yin. Yin is like the softer, like the feminine.
Yes.
And
I am definitely the masculine energy here.
yeah, you are.
There's no secret. I am not ashamed of that. That's how I'm mostly the masculine energy with almost all of my
Everything, yeah.
everything in all of my relationships.
Yeah.
That's just is what it is.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean,
You're a baby.
I'm baby. I'm baby. I'm like, la la la.
Ex-
I'm a little fairy. No, I don't know if I'm a fairy or not, but I feel just I'm a very whimsical.
Yes.
I'm very whimsical at heart.
Whimsical is an amazing way to put it, because even
Yeah.
in the way you dress too, it's like, no, I'm very like
Yeah.
I'm it's very dark, it's very structured,
Yeah.
like it's very,
I love it. I think it's cool.
that's mine.
Badass. I wish I was badass, but I'm just whimsy, which is cool.
You are very whimsy.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh,
Well,
flowers.
I wish I could be whimsy sometimes. I'm like, oh, I would love to wear like a Stevie Nicks shawl, but I'm like, I feel dumb. Like,
Hi, friend.
I believe that everybody else looks amazing in it, but I'm like, that just doesn't suit my shtick here.
I know what I'm gonna get you for your birthday.
I have a ton of them. I just don't ever wear them.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh,
You're
my
not gonna wear it.
Oh, yeah.
What if it's black?
I mean, I have black ones.
okay,
I just,
then no.
yeah, I just never can put it together. I don't know why. I don't know. Anyways,
I see.
it's a whole thing. I did buy skirts though. I bought 2 skirts, which is really rare for me. 2 at a time.
No, that's nice.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get back into skirts. It's been hard, but
Well-
I've been very femme recently. Like I feel very flamboyant a little bit more. Like I've been wearing my nails. I've been like,
You did have nails.
yeah. And honestly, I like it. I'm like, well, I have to in the summer.
Yeah.
I have to be more femme.
That's why I bought skirts,
Yeah.
because I was like, oh, I do not wear shorts. That's
Yeah.
the whole, it's just a thing. I don't wear shorts.
I hate shorts,
I hate
too.
shorts also. I hate them. I would rather wear pants. And everybody looks at me like I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you're not in my crotch. I'll be as hot as I want. Leave me alone.
Y'all don't know about chafing. Y'all don't know about sweat, inner thigh sweat.
Yep.
Y'all don't know about the uncomfortable sticky, like the stickiness you feel in your legs
Yep.
when you have a little extra.
Yeah, I'm also ghostly, so I will blind everyone.
Same.
But so skirts, I got cute like long ones. Anyways, this isn't about skirts. But like that's me trying to branch out, as I don't.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I could wear them to work because they're long,
Oh yeah.
respectable, adult, business like. They're a neutral pattern. That perfectly describes me.
Love it. I love it, friend.
Oh shoot. Okay, do we want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up. Let's do socials first.
Okay. Shit. Okay. Please follow us on Instagram. It's One Thing Queer. In my personal Instagram, it's now a barbecue page. It's SpexRayX.
I was like, did you change it to barbecue? I was like, that wasn't taken. I'm just kidding. And my personal Instagram is at Jenny Lynn Bouton. And I also have a witchy page where I do Reiki and tarot. It's at Celestial Light Witch. Follow me on TikTok and help me get to 1,000 followers, please.
Do it.
Thank you very much. Wink, wink. Love you. Love you forever.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And if you need any like big sibling advice or have any ideas for the show or want to come on the show or just want to say hi that's not on Instagram, you can email us at onethingqueer@gmail.com.
Or DM us.
Yeah, that works
on
too. If you want to follow our page on TikTok, it's One Thing Queer Podcast. I should start posting the what is it called? The little posts we put, the videos. God, okay, we need to stop.
Yeah, we're crashing, y'all.
We are crashing. But okay, anyways, yeah.
Right.
So I guess
before we sound like wah wah wah, I guess that's gonna wrap it up for this week's episode of One Thing Queer. And make sure you stay tuned for a whole new show next Tuesday.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Music by Jacody Lamone. Produced by Kelsey Wren and Jenny Baton. Edited by Jenny Baton.